All right, hey guys. So originally I was actually thinking of maybe returning back to the little silly intros, but I didn't today because Dexter's urn arrived today, and I'm not going to show it. But I originally wanted to show it, but my mom said she doesn't want me to, so I'm not going to show the urn. But it arrived today. But I was originally going to do a silly intro, but let's do this video and then another with a normal intro, and then we'll maybe do the silly intros again. But I'm feeling a lot better though. I'm always gonna miss Dexter. He's always gonna be in our hearts, but he's in a better place now, and we're gonna try our best to move past him and keep him in our memory. So, anyways, let's go into these. So, let me see here. So, this one is MTV Unplugged in New York by Nirvana. This is the last release while Kurt Cobain was alive, and it's a live album. And actually, this is my favorite release by them. It has some really good covers in it, and the acoustic versions of the songs are really good too. This isn't really even a grunge release; it's more of an acoustic rock release, though. But it's really good. The last song, "Where Did You Sleep Last Night," is one of my favorite Nirvana songs, and "The Man Who Sold the World" is a really good song off those two. And, the cover for "All Apologies" is also really good. But yeah, this is a really good album though. So, see here. Okay. All right. This one I can't show the front cover for this one either. So, because it has nudity on it, some breast. So, but this is "Terrifier" by Pig Destroyer, and this is actually my favorite Pig Destroyer album. I actually prefer this one over Prowler in the Yard. This isn't a concept album, but it's a lot heavier. It's a really fun album too, I'd say, in my opinion. The title track is probably my favorite Big Destroyer song, actually. The last song, the Terrifiers. Anyway, so this one came after Prowler in the Yard. There's even some humor in some tracks too, I'd probably say. I actually like a lot of humors. Grindcore version, I don't know why, but I like a lot of grindcore for a lot of humor. For some reason, I don't know why. Anyway, so get into let's see here. Okay, this is "Street Cleaner" by Godflesh, and for a while, this was actually my favorite metal album for a really long time. And actually, my favorite project that Justin Broderick is in now is probably actually Jesus, but Godflesh is still really good. I don't like this album quite as much as I used to, but it's still a really great release, and definitely a classic in industrial metal. So, let's see here. Oh, it looks like it's slightly warped. At least I think, I don't know. I don't know. So, it's a clear vinyl though, and the lyric sheet it comes with. This also used a V drum as well, kind of like the Big Black album. Also used a V drum. And this is also one of the first industrial metal albums too. One of the most influential industrial albums as well, I'd probably say. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so this is "A Promise" by Shu Shu. And this is not the original cover for this album. The original cover was a picture of a Asian naked man holding the baby like that on the cover. But so it's interesting. While I go into this, I guess I'll tell you the backstory and why they obviously had to change the cover because the cover was controversial. But why they had that as the original cover is so Shu Shu's a very weird group. Very great group, really unique sound. It's really kind of hard to really put their music into a category because they kind of do all sorts of things, but they're an experimental music group, and I mostly say they're electronic music and I guess synth punk, I guess you can kind of say that. Some industrial maybe, but anyway, so he was in vacation in Vietnam, and this prostitute from Vietnam came asking him if he wanted to have sex with him for money, and he said no. And he kept asking him, and then he eventually said, "Okay, how about this? I'll take a picture of you naked in my apartment holding a baby doll, and I'll pay you for that." And he said, "Okay." And then they used it as the cover. And that's there's a lot of really weird stories with this group, but they're a very odd group, but still pretty great for me. Let's see. Okay, so. And it's also a very, very depressing album. One of the most depressing albums I've ever listened to also. Alright, this is Hot Buttered Soul by Isaac Hayes. And if you probably recognize Isaac Hayes because he voices the chef on South Park. But he's also a soul musician, and this is one of my favorite soul albums. And there's only 4 tracks on this, but most of them are very long. And it's almost like a progressive rock approach on soul music. And it makes me feel a lot of things I can't feel on a lot of other albums. So this is a really, really great soul album. And definitely worth to check out if you enjoy soul music. Okay, anyway, so let's see here. Okay. Now this is Enter the WuTang 36 Chambers by WuTang Clan. And this is obviously their masterpiece. Definitely one of the greatest hip hop albums ever written, easily. This album's a lot of fun. There isn't a dull moment on it, and filled with a lot of humor and a lot of really, really great skits, and really, really great ahead of its time album. And the group themselves didn't really release a whole lot of anything that even came close to this, but there's a lot of really great solo work a lot of the members did, though, especially Jizza and Meth M, Ghostface Killah, and Raekwon, and Old Dirty Bastard, and everything, you know. But yeah, it's a really, really good album. Classic in hip hop music. Let's see here. Okay, so all right, this one is. Let's see here. Okay, so this is "Lift Your Skinny Fist Like Antennas to Heaven" by Godspeed You Black Emperor, and this is my favorite Canadian group. And they are a post-rock group. And unless you count Swans, this is my favorite post-rock group. And this is also one of my favorite albums of the 2000s, too. So there's only 4 tracks on this, but the first 3 tracks are 20 minutes, but the last song is like 18 minutes, just a bit short of 20 minutes, though. But this is a beautiful album, though. And this is one of the easiest post-rock albums to get into, I'd probably say. It's a very, very pretty album. It's instrumental, though, so instrumental isn't really your style. Maybe this might not be for you, but this is a really, really pretty album, though. Very easy to sit through all the way through. Really good background music, too, I'd probably say. Let's see here. Okay, there you go for that. Okay. This one is All Bitches Die by Lingua Ignata. And she is a deaf industrial musician from born in California, grew up in Rhode Island. And this is her album from 2017. I was kind of back and forth on whether or not I prefer this one or her album from last year, Caligula, but I think I might prefer Caligula over this now, but that one's actually supposed to arrive at one point. That's the last album I've heard from my hands. But I can see why some people might prefer this one, though. It's a lot heavier and more experimental, more abrasive. But yeah, this is a really good album, too. And let's see here. So she is deaf industrial is a style of more accessible genre of power electronics, you can probably say. Like the artwork for it's really cool too, and you can see the inside's it's really, really detailed. The cover is and everything, and the record is really cool. There's actually I don't know if you can see that, but this is Eileen Warnos, a female serial killer that she sampled on a track that was kind of seen as maybe one of the less evil ones because I don't know, but anyway, so now also that group Daughters, that one, the black one with the ghost face on it, that one is the vocalist of that group is her boyfriend, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. because they live with each other, and I'm just pretty sure it's their boyfriend, which is really cool. I'm really happy that they're doing that because they're both musicians I enjoy a lot. But anyway, so let's see here. And a lot of her music is seen as survivor anthems. There's a really big scene with female-led deaf industrial musicians, which I think is really cool. I like the direction we're going. So let's see here. Okay, this is one of my rare items, I'd probably say. Now, this is Steroids, Crouching Tiger, Hitting Gabber, Megamix, EP by Crips, and the B-side is More Than the Fairy featuring Les Claypool, which is a single non-album single they dropped out of the blue in 2016, and then the electronic drum solo dub mix single take. That's like an 11-minute little drum solo free improvisation thing that they played in the background of Ministry when they were touring for Ministry. But anyway, so this was my favorite Crips release for a while, but I think I might prefer the Powers That Be now. But this is really, really great release. This is one of their most EDM influenced release, I'd probably say. And I guess maybe Government Place might be a bit more, but yeah, this is a really, really great EP. Probably my second favorite release by Crips, though. But it's also one of my favorite EPs of all time. And they dropped it out of the blue. And I actually prefer it over both Bottomless Pit and You're the Snitch. I think the EP is a masterpiece in the experimental hip hop genre. It has a lot of Crips releases, and they're one of my favorite groups. And More Than the Fairy single has a very similar sound to Steroids, I'd probably say. And so does kind of the electronic drum solo thing. It's a really, really interesting sound. I think this group does a really, really great when they're on their more EDM inspired releases, I'd probably say. Alright, but that's that is it. And I appreciate you guys for watching, and so I'm feeling a bit better, doing a bit better, and I'm in time. I'm kind of getting over Dexter's real death, and he's in a better place, and he's still in our memory. So, but that's kind of it, though, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.